In this video, I'm going to be showing how I take a piece of 1.5 by 1/4 inch by about 8 inches of 1095 high carbon steel and forge it into a clip point buoy, a straight clip point buoy to be precise. So far what I've done is forged in the tip, and then right now I'm starting to forge in the ricasso. Essentially, this is going to be the area where it goes from the blade to a little flat section that then would turn into the hidden tang, which you can see me forging in right there, thinning out, or not thinning out, but reducing in size some of that material. Now you'll see me either scrape the steel with a wire brush or hit it onto the anvil. This is to knock off some of that forge scale that tends to build up, especially when you're using propane forges. You don't want this on your, or too much of this on your finished piece. This stuff, one, is very hard to grind off, but it's also can trap moisture underneath and cause it to rust. Right there on the anvil, I'm hitting it with the flat part of my hammer on the horn of the anvil in order to lengthen it out. And now I am starting to forge in some of the bevels. I'll switch back from forging in the bevels to straightening out the piece and pounding in the tip or hitting in the tip, just to keep everything as refined as possible. In this build, I am trying to do a little bit of brute to forge, or essentially forge it to about 95% of final thickness and edge bevel as possible before I go to the grinder. Now, obviously, when I do this, I do need to use the grinder and files to make sure all the corners, all the edges are perfectly straight and square. But yeah, so far this is what I have. It is forged to the general shape. I'll now be taking it up to the grinder, or heat treating it in order to make it hard. Until you heat treat a piece of steel, it is basically just a paperweight. Heat treating is what's going to essentially give it the life of the blade. It's going to allow it to be nice and hard. After the heat treat and the temper, I'll take it to the grinder. I'll shore up those corners for the guard, and that's a brass guard that I've fitted up right there, as well as rough grind in the plunge lines. As you can see, the guard is nice and squarely fit up, and make sure that the tang is smaller than the ricasso, so that way the guard can fit up nice and square without any gap showing. Now on this handle, I was originally going with black palm, but as you can see, I kind of accidentally ground into the tang hole. You can't have that. So after I took off that piece of black palm, I switched it over to a piece of rosewood. The finished piece is beautiful. That brass guard and the high gloss of the rosewood with a little bit of Aussie oil on it for the finished product just looks phenomenal. I did end up making an all black sheath for this, black leather, with some brass pins to match the brass guard. It fits up perfectly just on a belt loop, and it's a beautiful knife to end with.